Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bad News, where you come for your bad news and only bad news. If you want good news, go watch the videos with my mother. KSI claims Mike Tyson was victim of elderly abuse in disgusting Jake Paul fight. He was. That was rough watching. I didn't enjoy watching that. I expected it. There was people out there thinking that Mike Tyson was going to run over Jake Paul, but you got this idea in your head of old Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson when he was 22. Mike Tyson was getting beaten up by plumbers in the late 90s. He was done in the late 90s, early 2000s. So what makes you think he's going to suddenly roll back the clock at 58 years old? Now, don't get me wrong. My 58 is not going to look like his 58. Look at that man. He's a beast for 58. He's a savage for 58, but he is 58. And that's a 27-year-old YouTuber who took advantage of it. And the Jake Paul beating up pensioners tour continues. And this week is stopped off at Mike Tyson's house. He pulled Mike Tyson out the care home for a couple of hours. They made 60 million quid together and they had a good time. Mike Tyson threw 16 punches, landed 16 punches the entire fight. Mike Tyson, in his prime, would have landed 17 punches within the first 3 seconds. And you could see his legs betraying him, like he wanted to do it. He wanted to go forward and attack, but he couldn't do it. It's like when you're on your third wank. You have all the intentions to get it done, but there's nothing left. You're running on empties, isn't it, Viraj? Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like. He was on his third wank. He was really trying, but he couldn't roll back the clock. He was good for the first minute and a half. He was really trying to get him out in the minute and a half, but his legs couldn't handle it. I tell you what, though, on intimidation factor, he's still got the intimidation factor. Because when he walked out, he looked terrifying. See if there's any more photos of him. Scroll up. He's a terrifying looking man. But it was sad to watch. It was sad to watch. You know, Mike Tyson made like $300 million in his prime. And then ended up somehow in $20 million debt. Mm-hmm. I get that prostitutes and cocaine and all that stuff is expensive. But at some point, you'd think you'd stop, right? I think if I were to blow my money, I'd probably blow it on like Shisha and Nando's.
Yep, you would.
I think I'd probably spend a lot of money on that. Maybe not the prostitutes bit. It's a bit haram for me. Mm-hmm. But scroll down to KSI's face. He's going to have a field day with this one. He's going to enjoy it. But I don't know why he's going on his high horse, because he would have done the same shit. These guys live on shock factor. That's what sells. How much crazy shit can we do? Logan Paul goes to the WWE. He fights, who did he fight? Floyd Mayweather. Jake Paul. He fights Mike Tyson. They live weird lives. Cool lives, interesting lives, but weird lives nevertheless. You know what got me? They bowed at each other at the end and everyone was like, oh, what a shine of respect. Shut up. He just beat up a 58-year-old man. Where's the sign of respect in that? Also, what world do we live in where Jake Paul gets £40 million, and Mike Tyson gets $20 million? How many people would have watched that event last night if Mike Tyson wasn't in it? The answer is not many. Mike Tyson could fight me in my garden and people would watch. Mike Tyson could fight my mum. At this point, my mum would probably win, right? She's fairly strong. She's a strong woman. She's got a good headlock, trust me. And people would still watch. There was that video of Mike Tyson talking to that little kid. Have you seen that video?
I haven't seen it.
Mike Tyson was talking to a little kid. See if you can find it, yeah? And Mike Tyson clearly forgot he was speaking to a child. He was looking at this child like, you realize I was in prison before your parents were born.
Well, in your return to the ring,
watch
this fight, you are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike Tyson in the ring for the first time.
Yeah.
What type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's awesome?
What legacy? My legacy is nothing.
Legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. That's just some word everybody creates.
I'm nothing. All power to God. I'll eat your children.
me. I'm just passing through. I'm gonna die, and it's gonna be over. Who cares about legacy after that?
Pause it.
Good.
Imagine having an existential crisis in front of a child. Carry on.
With a big ego, so I'm gonna die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing.
She's like, pause it. She's like, oh, wow, cool. No one's ever said that to me before. I think she actually says that. Go on.
Everything is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before. Someone's
Yeah. Pause it. Sweetie, you're like 11 years old. You haven't heard much before. You haven't heard many words at all. Mike Tyson was in prison before your parents were born. Mike Tyson has probably done more cocaine in his life than your body weight at this point. They said the first time Mike Tyson had a run-in with small people, one time he picked up Hezbollah because he thought it was a child and started kissing his neck. Anyway, carry on.
You really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead. You think somebody really wants to think about you? I want you to care about me when I'm gone.
Yeah, pause it. Saying to a child, do you think anyone really wants to care about you? Parents in the background of the camera. We care quite a bit. These are two people at very two different stages of their life, and it shows. Can you do me a favor? Can you pull up Mike Tyson at 15 and Jake Paul at 15? Just like into Google Images. Just to show you the way. Okay, now Jake Paul at 15. Yeah. They were living different lives. One was watching his pigeons get murdered in front of him in the street, and he was fighting for every single piece of food he can get. Go to Jake Paul. Vine videos. Very different lives. Very different existence. And somehow their worlds collided in the weirdest way at 58 and 27 years old. When Mike Tyson was in his prime, Jake Paul wasn't even born yet. Put that together in your head. Tells you everything you need to know. Oh, he was such a creepy looking guy. Jesus. Yeah, take that off the screen. It's kind of scaring me now. Yeah, go back to the article if you can. But that was that. We enjoyed it. It was beautiful. Let's look at some of the let's look at the butt shot. This was a fun bit of the broadcast. Yeah, play that. Look at this. This is something only Mike Tyson could pull off. Look at that. Look at that majestic ass. That's the ass of one of the greatest fighters ever to live. We must respect that ass. Jake Paul should be kissing that ass. Jake Paul should be thanking that ass for saving his ass financially for this fight. Because there's no way Jake Paul was getting that money fighting anyone else. That's royalty right there. That's the ass of a king. That's a beautiful ass for 58 years old. Nicer than my ass now, to be honest. Go to the memes if you can. Skip this one. Mike Tyson had the chance to have the greatest moment in sports history right here. He should have banged him in the face. One bang to the face there and then. End it. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Next one, please. I think I got the wrong link for the Mike Tyson fight. Lol. I'm telling my kids this was Mike Tyson. I mean, that's what Mike Tyson was fighting like a little bit last night, to be fair. Little girl asked regular question. Mike Tyson, existential crisis immediately. Mike Tyson really said, lol. Yeah, The Simpsons predicted everything. Listen, you make enough episodes of The Simpsons, they're going to get a lot of this stuff right. Next one. He should have bit him right there, man. Yeah, next one. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a walkabout in the ring for however long it lasted. Anyways, let's move on to Gen Z, because Gen Z is responsible for this fight. 1 in 4 Gen Z job applicants have brought their parents to interview, new survey claims. That is the most Gen Z thing I've ever heard. And do you know what? Good for them. I'm 6 months out of Gen Z, but I don't feel like Gen Z. I'm 28 years old. I don't think Gen Z should apply to 28-year-olds. Do you think it should apply to 28-year-olds, Viraj?
No.
I think 24 and younger. They're Gen Z.
Yeah.
The It's Giving generation. The, what else do they say? The Central C generation. The TikTok generation. That's Gen Z. The generation where they come up with random songs in the office and sing along and dance to it. You know? The generation that don't know what it means to go to work because work from home has been the norm for them. The generation that don't want to get a normal job. Gen Z's addicted to quick money. Have you noticed this? Get rich quick schemes. They love it. I think the number one job that Gen Z want to do when they're older, like kids, it's like become an influencer. When we were kids, it was like, I want to be a footballer, rocket man, fucking bin man, drug dealer, good traditional jobs. Investment banker, maybe, if you were Indian. Is that what you wanted to do? Of course it was. But Gen Z, they want to be influencers. They want to be influencers. They want to be streamers. They want to make quick money. You speak to anyone who works in a school, all the kids are obsessed with trying to come up with a job that makes them quick money. So I'm not surprised that they bring their parents to the job interview. I'm not surprised. I need support. This interview can be traumatizing and triggering for me. I need support through this tough time. Good for them. Good for them. Pick the time of the interview as well. Have the interview in your living room. If you don't like the question, tell them. I didn't like that question. I didn't like how you worded that question. I think it's fairly disgusting in 2024 that you're asking me for my skills when my skills are fluid. My skills is I exist. I am a skill. I am worthy of everything. My skills is my presence. My skills is my grace. I'm very demure. I'm very classy. I don't know who this guy is, but he's creeping me out. Can we move it, please? To be honest, right, from an interviewer's perspective, you could probably learn a lot from someone bringing their parents to the job interview. I'll tell you a good example of that. If you came to a job interview with your parent and your parent is a crackhead, but you seemed like really level-headed, that's more impressive to me. Mm-hmm. Like if your mum and dad are like crackheads, they seem loopy as fuck, and you're just answering the questions really well, really coherently, putting together a very good answer, and you seem well put together, you've overcome a lot, you've got the job, mate. Rather than the person who comes to the job interview with their pristine parents who are both wearing suits and got haircuts for the occasion. That doesn't impress me. Where are the people who overcame adversity like me? You know how much I had to overcome? Growing up in the mean streets of Hertfordshire, Viraj. 5-bedroom house I had to grow up in. 5 bedrooms. If my ensuite was broken, I had to share with my brother, Viraj.
Oh, Muhsin.
Do you know how hard it was?
How hard?
It was difficult. You don't know the struggle.
I don't.
When the G class was broken, my mum had to take me to school in the CLA. It was embarrassing going to school that low to the ground.
It's all right.
I couldn't even look down on my teachers and the lollipop man. It was awful. Eventually, the maid and the cleaner would get holiday leave. What would happen to my room, Viraj? My mum would have to clean it. I had to watch her do that. It was painful for everyone.
Do you know how to turn on a Hoover?
No! Thank God it never got that far. It's giving trauma. But I'm happy for Gen Z. I like that. I like that for them. Do what you want. Live your life. Don't work. Enjoy it. I don't want to work. I've worked very hard on not working. You're working very hard on not working as well. You want to do your own thing, don't you, Viraj?
Yeah.
How would it go down if you brought your parents to a job interview? Your dad probably get the job over you, to be honest. Imagine you bring your parents to the imagine you bring your parents to the job interview and they smash the job interview so where they get the job. It's like when you go out with your mate and like a girl you're trying to impress, but your mate is way more charming than you and just impresses the girl way more. They just have a great conversation in front of you. Yeah, my dad would have never got the job because he would just sit there staring at the person like, why am I here? Why is my bullshit son putting me through this right now? But good for Gen Z, man. This is what I want for them. The survey found that 1 in 10 Gen Z applicants had their parents write their resume for them. Good! Don't write it yourself. You'll mess it up. Get mommy and daddy to do it. Bring the biscuits, right? You don't need to do that. You need to go enjoy yourself. You need to relax. You need to go on a mental health break. Mommy and daddy will sort the job out for you. If anything, you should apply where your mum and dad works. Why go anywhere else? Like, collaborate on it. I wouldn't have them apply because they are not going to be the ones sitting in the hot seat interviewing for that job. Well, you'd bring them along. 1 in 4 seems like bullshit, by the way. I don't think 1 in 4 people have brought their parents to a job interview. You know what's the equivalent? You know what this is the equivalent of? You know when you were a kid and you go to the GP with your mum and then the doctor would ask you what's wrong, you just look at your mum. This is the same energy. They're like, what skills do you bring to this job? Mum, he's a lovely boy. He's a really nice boy. He deserved the job. Please give him the job because I want him to leave the house immediately. He's 28 years old. He does nothing around the house. Me and my husband are desperate for him to leave. He's not very good looking, but he has a good heart. Please take him. Please. Gen Z doing Gen Z things. Where are we at in this episode, Viraj? Where are we at? We're at Joe Biden. The opposite of Gen Z. The uncancelable generation. Joe Biden is now at the age where he can do what he wants. Joe Biden jokingly bites baby during White House Halloween party. You can't cancel men in their 80s. It's too late for them. Play the video. Look at this. Look at this man. Yeah, just take a bite out of that baby. Take a bite out of that baby. Do what you must. Yeah, that's not creepy. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. With those fake teeth. Look at that reptile. Look at him.
He looks so happy.
Yeah, of course he does. Now he's holding hands with a panda. What could go wrong? You know when people start saying stuff like Illuminati this, Illuminati that, humiliation rituals? Sometimes I'm like, that's nonsense. But then when you see the President of the United States walk around holding hands with a panda, you can't help but think Vladimir Putin's looking at that going, easy pickings.
That's his wife.
Dressed in the panda? Yeah. That doesn't really add to the case. He's a creepy man, Joe Biden. He's done a lot of weird things. He's like snuggled up the kids. He's like kissed them. I think he's licked one. Maybe that was the Pope, to be fair. But these old men are creepy. They're the creepy generation. They touch people inappropriately and no one does anything about it because we're just like, well, they're going to die soon anyway. So just let them crack on with it. I couldn't do that. Not that I want to. I don't really want to go around nibbling on people's babies. Do you want to go around nibbling on people's babies, Viraj?
I don't.
You do a little bit.
I don't.
You said before the air that you did.
Oh, it's all alleged. Isn't
Have you ever nibbled on my nephews and nieces, Viraj?
I have not.
That's a damn lie. You dirty bastard. But that's the uncancelable generation. You know what Joe Biden's on? He's on his fuck it tour. He ain't even trying to run the country anymore. He's nibbling on babies. He's not even trying to look healthy anymore. He's limping out. He's forgetting what he's going to say with a smile in his face. People are asking him, he's like, what do you think about Russia? And he goes, I had yogurt for breakfast. It was delicious. And he just smiles and shakes a little bit. Hey, let me tell you something. You ever had blueberries on your pancakes? They're amazing. Yeah, but Joe, what do you think about the Russia-Ukraine crisis? You know, sometimes I don't want too many blueberries on my pancakes. I get a little bit of Nutella and I just nibble on it and it's great. Anyways, God bless America. He's on his goodbye tour. He's on his goodbye to life tour. He ain't got long left. I promise you, when they change hands, like when Trump becomes president, Biden's got about a year and a half left in him. Mm-hmm. The farewell tour. He's going to bite babies. He's going to eat soft foods. He's going to fall off his bike a couple of times and that'll be a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to stop injecting him with all that noradrenaline and whatever they got for the debates. They were just pumping him up with drugs and wheeling him out to the debates, hoping for the best. And he'll malfunction after the first 10 minutes. He'd be great the first 10 minutes. Then the drugs would wear off and he'd be like, hey, where we at? Where we at right now? I thought we were in my living room. That's fine. Yeah, he's having a rough go of it right now. But it is enjoyable to watch. Bless him. Let's move on. Let's take a moment for this. First emperor penguin found in Australia after 2,000-mile journey from Antarctica. Listen, we've all taken a few wrong turns in our life. After a night out, maybe you've had a bit too much to drink. You ran out of charge on your phone. And somehow you were trying to go to Clapham and you ended up in Birmingham. We've all been there. I want to know how long the penguin travelled before he realised he fucked up and just had to commit. The penguin was well underway when it was found. Yeah, I can imagine. The emperor is the largest penguin species and has never been reported in the country before, according to the Belinda Canal from the University of Western Australia. She said she had no clue why he had taken such a long journey, although some emperors have been spotted in New Zealand before. Maybe he was looking for his boys. Scroll down. The 1 meter tall bird weighed 23 kg when he was found, but healthy males can weigh more than 45 kg. I can't help but think there's going to be a similar article about Joe Biden in 2 months. Joe Biden found in like the Vegas desert, malnourished, looking for the White House. Where am I? Where have I been? Where are the blueberry pancakes? He's being cared for by seabird rehabilitators who's spraying him with chilled water mist to help him adapt to warmer climates. Look at him. They don't show you this in Madagascar, do they? David Attenborough should have documented this. You know, imagine how confused the penguin would have been when he heard the New Zealand accent. Fucking hell, mate. Think you're taking a few wrong turns. Where the fuck am I? Why is it so hot? Why is this guy holding a beer? Wearing nothing but a Speedo? Do I attack him or do I just stand very still? Just smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave. Also, I love that they got that penguin to just stand on the scale so obediently. It's like, how much do I weigh? It's like, oh, girl, I've lost weight. Okay, I'm done. How long have we done?
23.
We've done 23 minutes. That was beautiful. Thank you for coming to Bad News. I hope you've enjoyed this lighter episode from the harder episode last week. Subscribe, tell your mum about it, kiss your parents on the forehead. If you see Joe Biden wandering around your local Westfield, guide him back to the White House. See you later.